students here. There's nothing more that I can say that can add to what has already been said. Just two things, three actually. Let's begin with the first one. Is that this struggle, what we see here and what you have achieved and what you have mobilized, and to the BSU, Fanan, David, and your allied associations, I have nothing but the immense, great respect for what you have done. You perceived the threat to our campus. You perceived the threat long before the university even sensed it. And it was because of you that you mobilized and you brought the students out, and this is the culmination, a complete victory. Today, right now, is evidence of a complete victory. You were right then, we were right now, and we'll be right in the future when we win. The second point I want to leave you with here is that this is something that you have started and we've all joined together, but it is spreading. 17 students, I've just been told, have been arrested at UCI because they've come out in support of us. Don't we forget that. We will come out here, they will not be charged. We will make sure. We started it. Let this movement spread. Irvine is a hop, skip and jump away. I bring you even greater news. This has become an international incident. Congratulations. Congratulations. Australia, New Zealand, Turkey, Israel, France, Germany, Italy, and England. All friends and colleagues that I have in those countries are calling me up and sending me emails saying, what the fuck is going on there? We thought the stuff was gone. So we thought the KKK was gone. And what we have here is the KK koala. And I left out one country when I narrated that list of countries. That was South Africa, my hometown, my home country. It's where I came from. And what I want to tell you here is that day, June the 16th, 1976, Monday, when the nation woke up and saw suddenly emblazoned on the newspapers across the country, 100,000 such scenes across the country. And that day is, every South African knows it because it is like this day, it is the day the movement began. It began in 1976 and we won in 1994. It was a long time. And students half your age every day would get up and they'd say, Mom and Dad, I know I might not come home today, but I'm going to protest in the streets. 12, 13, 14 years old. Those were the kids who threw themselves in the barricades, and those were the kids who were shot down in droves. Within 3 months, more than 1,800 students were shot down dead under the age of 16. That is commitment. Now, I'm not saying that we have to do the same. Thank God we don't have to do the same. But they did that year after year after year, from 1976 until 1994. We can calibrate our own struggle in the same way. We will not rest. When you graduate here, 3, 4 years from now, when you leave, the question that you'll ask yourself is, you remember that day? What's the day today? You remember the 24th of what month? The 20th of what year? The 24th of February of 2010. When we were all out here and our passion was high and we were committed to it, when the day you pick up your piece of paper from the stage, you say, did we succeed? That's the question you ask yourself. It's how you will measure your education. This is the greatest educational day, I'm quite sure, of all of your lives here. And so that's how you measure the worth of your degree. And if you feel that you have fallen short, it is your job to come back here and you teach the next generation and you tell them, don't forget. Just like the townships of South Africa liberated the universities of South Africa, when the poor black men and women got up and they charged into the universities and said, we can't let this go on. And then the universities woke up. And now we'd like to see also that the townships of California, of San Diego, this is your place, come get it. I'm so glad that we've talked about the need to transform this place racially, and I'm so glad that we need to talk about the ending the misogyny here. But also, let's also acknowledge that this is not where poor people go, and most of black and brown people are poor. And so, let the townships come here. Let them come and claim this place. It is theirs. Just like the townships claim the universities in South Africa. I hope, I wish to see that great day again, this day, when a university becomes genuinely public property. Yeah! 17 years. I don't have 24 years of working, but I got 17 years of working in a place where I know didn't really want me here. I could feel it. I could sense it. Sometimes I feel like I would go home and take a shower. Sorry, folks out there, you thought I was a nice guy? That's how I did feel. And I want to say thank you to the students, therefore, for providing this incredible opportunity for me to say, wow, I don't have to. And that's why I'm so proud and so happy, and with the greatest thing in my world to say, I accept fully the incredible maturity, mobilization skills, dedication, and smartness of the people who put this thing together. I'm behind you. I have nothing but immense respect for what you have achieved here. But the struggle doesn't end here today, folks. This passion, this heat, the numbers, the energy that went into putting this was immense. I think before I finish off on my last point, I just want to let you know that for the people who organized this was a hard time. We all suffered in private. We cried, I cried. I cried at home a lot in the last week. And I didn't quite know why it was. And then it all started coming together, and you guys put it together for me. This was a feeling of racial derogation. I felt publicly raped. When students allowed to talk about lynching, fucking lynching, that occupies a special place in the history of America. You don't mess with it. You don't shame us, as that song, Strange Fruit, says. Right? You know that song? I wish I had it here to play it for you. Go and Google the lyrics for Strange Fruit by Billie Holiday. The bulging eyes and the twisted mouth of a man hanging up there with a rope around his neck. You don't mess with those images. When that kind of special horror was visited on one part of the population owner, you don't go there. Not even black people go there. It's too painful. And for the university to come out, the first thing to say is they have freedom of speech. There was a rage that came up in me. And I knew immediately what I had to do, because that's what we did in South Africa. I turned my classes over to the students, said, take it. You can say whatever you want to say. And the class, I'm quite happy to say, was indeed taken over by students. So proud about that again. And so to the students, wow, what leadership you have. You are a blessed generation to have had this generation of leaders to help to bring us here, to pull us all together. Congratulations, guys. The last point I'll leave you with is this doesn't end here. Next week on March the 4th, on a Thursday, we are going to have occasion again to draw more systematically and argue with a whole bunch of speakers with lots of examples at our fingertips to show you why this event today is organically connected to March the 4th next year, when we've got to transform not just the UC, but the whole UC system.